This is
I'm out.
for
No, I've seen it.
Totally
I
out.
can't remember the video game, but I've seen that pixelated character. I've seen
That's
it before.
Castlevania, right?
okay. Which one?
3,
Two.
2,
An
2.
underrated gem, Castlevania.
So there's more than one Castlevania. I
There's
don't
like
even know
40.
what that is.
Yeah, there's a
I knew it
million.
wasn't 1 because that's not his outfit from 1.
Right. This is Simon in part 2, looking way more goth. This is.
Oh wow!
But dude,
Real
okay.
quick,
Oh yeah. Go.
have any of you seen the trailer for the new Mortal Kombat?
No, I haven't yet. And
Yeah.
does it look good or does it look? Yeah. Okay. 'Cause
Johnny Cage.
That's
Yeah.
Carl Urban. Carl Urban's
Yep.
Johnny Cage, right?
Yep.
That's crazy. I'm excited. I do want to see that. So here's the thing about Hulk Hogan. Now this is where it's gonna get. He's done so many shitty things. May he rest in peace. that I honestly thought the sex tape and the N-word tape were the same tape. Like I thought that like.
No, those are separate tapes.
Yeah.
He
Like,
wasn't yelling the N-word while he was
I
having
thought
sex.
that while
Yeah,
he was
exactly.
banging his friend's girlfriend or whatever, he was yelling it
man.
out.
Nah,
I
man.
really. Would you be surprised? Would anybody have been surprised if that had
No.
happened? No, not
No.
at all.
Not at
Well,
all.
are we live?
We're going, baby.
Oh, we're live.
going.
Okay.
So I will tell you this, man. You know, at one point, Hulk Hogan was my favorite
Yes.
wrestler of all time. This is even. I'm trying. No, actually, let me correct that. The Von Erichs were my favorite wrestlers.
Oh my
before
God!
Hulk
Hey,
Hogan. So
I'm
like,
from Dallas. Same thing.
That's
dude.
our
They were
boys right there,
Those
Ty.
were our.
yeah,
Ty.
I was a huge because WCW was it eight WCW or eight
WCCW was the Von Erichs.
right.
Was yeah.
It always looked more real and these people really wrestling as opposed to the show and the thing of WWF. So I was a huge Kerry Von Erich, Kevin, all of them. So much so that I really thought that the Freebirds killed
David.
David.
Wow.
How can they get away with murder?
Right.
So I was really big into it, and then I'm sorry, I will tell you this is fine. Okay, I'm okay with it. I used to play with GI Joes. I still collect them, but I used to play.
Oh
with
hell
them.
yeah!
Oh, I still. But I made I made a wrestling ring. Like I went and got wood. Like I went and got a piece of wood from the hardware stores, about like
this is
this.
great.
Them huge industrial nails with the ring post. I made this wrestling with the super elastic rubber bands, and I used to play intro music to the wrestlers coming out.
That's great.
It was I was a super. This is I didn't do drugs. I didn't drink. I was a super kid nerd, and
I made up for you.
I Am a Real American was the song that I would play
Nice.
for these people coming out. So my thing with Hulk Hogan was always like, you know, pray, eat your vitamins, all this type of shit.
Right.
So when you see that this dude, the real person, is a piece of shit,
Oh.
you're like,
Yeah.
That hurt. That really, more than death, right? Like that shattered me when the N-word tape came out. Like that was because I didn't back then. Even when the tape came out, I wasn't aware of all the backstage politics and how much of a piece of shit he had been to so many wrestlers, you know, on his way up and all that. Like, I didn't know that Macho Man really hated him. I didn't know that the Ultimate Warrior really fucking hated him. Like, I didn't know any of that. Like, and so when the N-word thing dropped, I was like, oh, God. It was just like, it was such a punch to the gut.
the Jesse Ventura thing too with the union.
Yeah, the union. He ratted him out, and he just to save his stature with Vince because he was up and coming, and like, and it was that. And it's funny, Ty. I have a quick. Do you mind if I tell you all two quick wrestling stories? I'll try to make it as quick as possible because we can't let Courtney off the fucking hook. He's got.
Oh, that's right.
That's
right.
I got wrestling stories too. I got
Good
wrestling
job, Jay.
stories
Good
too.
job.
I'm sorry.
Thank you.
I have wrestling stories too. Sorry.
He said I got wrestling.
I do. I got a couple.
Wait, Eddie? Have I already told the Kamala story here or just on the ramble?
I think just on the ramble.
Okay, so Ty, do you remember Kamala, the Ugandan giant?
Yep, I do.
Okay, so I was I think 4 or 5. It's one of my first memories. My dad, my mom's boyfriend, who was like my dad, would take me to the Sportatorium to see WCCW. We saw the Von Erichs live, like, and as an aside, that was, and I know this sounds absurd, but that was like for all the kids growing up in Dallas, Texas. When David Von Erich died, that was our JFK. Like the next day at school, we were just shattered. We were like, I can't believe he's gone. Like, but he would take me, and I remember we were like, we didn't even get to the main event because Kamala, who really was comic relief for the adults, right? He didn't know what to do and all that kind of shit, and he would wrestle like 3 guys at once. And I remember like being so scared because I thought 3 dudes he's beating the shit out of, right? Like if he wants to, he could just kill everybody in this fucking, arena like Godzilla, just murder us all. And so I got so scared and I begged my dad to take me home because I was terrified of, and he could have ruined it right then and there and said, look, it's all bullshit. But he was like, no, okay. And so I was like, it made me love wrestling. Yeah. It was like, and it was crazy, but I was lucky enough years ago to be on Stone Cold Steve Austin's podcast, and I told him that story, and he just laughed. I forgot what Kamala's real name was, right? And he just said, oh man, he would have loved to have known he scared the fuck out of some little kid. And I was like, okay, good. And then this is my Hulk Hogan story, which Eddie, I know you've heard, but so my dad, he takes me and my cousin Eric to go see WWF in Dallas, Texas, Reunion Arena. The main event, Hulk Hogan versus the Big Boss Man. And first of all, that was the funniest thing about wrestling gimmicks in the 80s was it was like, let's have like a Confederate Georgia cop, but his manager is a black pimp. Like, let's just do that. It was slick. It was just like, yeah, sure, why not? Like, and so of course, we start the night.
Well, you're also turning police brutality into a gimmick.
Police brutality is a gimmick, and like it was fucking brutal.
Exactly.
Weird.
And so we get there, and it's packed. And my dad was able to get us like folding chair seats right by the fucking ring. And we were like, oh my god! And we're there, and these 2 drunk I'm Mexican, fellow Latino men. They were on our aisle, and one of them was like 6'2" and weighed like 40 pounds, and the other one was like 4'8" and weighed like 300, right? And they every 10 minutes they would come with like double super big gulp, 2 of them each fisted a beer, and they were just chugging it throughout the night. And then like we're not even halfway through the night yet, and Jimmy Hart, one of his wrestlers, is wrestling, and he's running around with the megaphone, and the fucking 6'2" guy is so blitzed, he just stands up on his chair. There's kids everywhere, and he just starts going, "Fuck you, Jimmy!" Like just screaming, "Fuck you!" And then and on the 3rd "fuck you," he accidentally steps on the back of the folding chair so it folds in on him. And he wipes out and just throws beer all over everyone. And my cousin Eric and I are like crying laughing. It's the funniest thing we'd ever seen in our life. And then so the main event comes around. Big Boss Man Hulk Hogan. Slick distracts the referee. Boss Man handcuffs Hogan. Takes out the nightstick, beats the fuck out of him, does his finishing move. I remember my cousin Eric and I, we were like 8. We were shattered. Like I remember my cousin Eric when he did his finisher on Hogan, and Hogan was just sitting there like twitching. Like I remember my cousin Eric just put his head on my shoulder, and I remember I just hugged him like we just lost a grandmother. I'm like, hey, it's gonna be all right, man. And we're just like, fuck, Hogan's gonna lose. And sure enough, he kicks out at 2.5, and he does a Hulkamania shit, and he stands in the middle of the ring, and he just starts shaking, and he just boom snaps the handcuffs in 2. And I'm telling you right now, I've been to football games where the Cowboys won on a last-second touchdown. Nothing was louder, no concert, than that audience losing their shit. And the funniest thing was, as that happened, right when he snaps and everybody goes crazy, from behind me I just hear, and I turn around, and the 4'8" guy, he's laid out. The tiny guy, it was the weirdest fucking. But yeah, like that's the best memory I can give.
That's
Hulk
the thing
Hogan.
about Hogan. He was a real life superhero to so many kids,
Yes,
and then you
yes.
grow up and you realize, oh, he's not he's a super villain. He's not a hero.
Yeah.
It's just crazy because he was literally that we thought he was a real person because he was a real person. He wasn't on the movies. He wasn't a cartoon. He wasn't in TV. We saw him. He was a real person. We're like, no, that's
dude,
the closest we get to a real life Superman.
My cousin Eric and I got to high five him on the way out because he was leaving, and we were just like we were so ecstatic that he won, and it was and we believed if we cheered loud enough, we would make him stronger. Like it was. We believed it.
That's hilarious. Is that because it's true? You did think like, no, we just gotta keep cheering and make him.
We're Hulkamania. We're feeling it's like the sun with Superman. That's us.
Yeah.
Like we are giving him his power.
It's to your point, Eddie. It's crazy because when Hogan switched to NWO, that was more like who he is in real life.
Yes. Yeah.
That person. With the heel, that was him. It's like because when he switched, everybody's like, "No, how could you go from such a great person to being this?" And I think Hogan was just like, "I'm just tired of shaving."
Right.
I
just want to be
baby face.
Yeah, exactly. I just want to be who I am. I'm surprised Vince didn't write the N-word into his storyline. So I'm telling you, it's crazy because you look at this dude who, like you said, was larger than life. We're like, oh my God, this dude can do anything. You didn't know about vitamins until you heard about him.
Nope.
Saying your prayers. I don't want to say my prayers. Oh, when Hogan said it, I'm going to say my prayers. You know what I'm saying? So all of these different things that this dude pretended to be is one thing, but then you see, oh wow, because I remember when I first heard about even the tape, because as an adult I find it out. I'm like, all right, well, yeah. But the N-word thing, I'm like, hold up, bro.
Right. Right.
You too. Like you can't. You've had a life of luxury for more than not, and you still are this shitty.
You're
person?
still gonna have hate for
the sex tape. Just shows he's human, but the N-word tape is just you're a piece of shit.
Yes.
It's who he always was.
Exactly.
Right, there was no
always was.
There's never context for something like that to excuse it. Like I've done jokes when I was in my early 20s making fun of racist people where I would say the N-word on stage, right? Like in a character. But then I'd be like, no, you just feel ugly. Like this doesn't like there's other ways to convey this, but he wasn't even trying to he was just angry. It was just like, what the fuck?
But this is why I say it. You couple the tape, which again, most dudes will excuse it. It is what it is. I mean, I was one of them dudes. Is like, come on, man, he freaky. That's what
right.
But when you see the tape, then the word, then you hear about the union thing, then you hear about how he treated the wrestlers, then you hear about all of these different things. When you hear about the ex-wife, all of these different things, you're like, oh shit. Yeah. He's just a horrible person.
Right. Yeah.
And I was telling somebody this other day, because we were talking about separating the person from the character or the music or whatever, because we always bring up R. Kelly, and I always tell people, I said, I'm not gonna sit here and tell you R. Kelly's music isn't still you can't say he didn't make great music. He made
incredible dude, even his early shit with the PA was fucking
great. Made great music, but once it's confirmed that you are this person, me personally, I can't rock with you no more. So I know people who still listen to his music, but I always tell them, I said, listen, man, you do know in some way, shape, or form, you're saying it's okay that this person did this. It's okay that they, you know what I'm saying? So I just asked somebody, we had some people over to the house because he was talking about, I still kind of listen to R. Kelly, and I said, so let me ask you something. If he had done that, no, we're talking about Diddy. We were talking about Diddy, and then I brought up R. Kelly. Yeah. But I said, let me ask you something. If he had done that to you, like to your family, a female in your family, would you be able to look past it? And he immediately said, oh no, I couldn't. And I said, that's the difference.
There it is.
Yeah, there it is.
It's okay. To that point, Rosemary's Baby is one of my favorite horror films. It's hard to watch after you know that Roman Polanski raped a child. It's like, and his Macbeth. I don't know if you've ever seen Roman Polanski's Macbeth. It might be one of the best Shakespearean adaptations to film ever, and I can't. It's like shit. I feel weird. Well, I mean, I gotta be honest. Thriller is the only record I can still, because it's just so good. I'm like, yeah, the accusations seem pretty heavy, but fuck, Thriller is just top to bottom.
But you know what? To that, Michael Jackson Michael is in the gray, because nothing has been confirmed. Not as far as what I've seen.
Right.
Now, once you show me concrete proof, like you showed the sex tape with R. Kelly, I have, even though it would hurt to get rid of that catalog.
Oh God, yeah.
I would get rid of it because, again, I have to look at the kids, and this is to come back to Hogan. And you say, well, wait a minute, I can't idolize anybody that doesn't respect me. I can't.
How could you? Right. And it's like, and then it makes you wonder. Well, holy shit, like, what the fuck what kind of shit was he spewing in the locker room before anyone was taping him? Exactly. Like, it's just weird, and it's like, and that's what I don't like. And the people who defend that shit, like, who was that? Eddie, you remember, what was that? Ty, you might remember Courtney, that fucking this shitty wide receiver who said the N-word at a country concert. Like, he played for the Eagles, I think, or something.
Played for the Eagles.
What was his name? It was like 10, 15 years ago.
Oh,
and do you remember this?
Yeah,
and
I remember that.
He was, and he said something
I'm
like,
glad I can't remember his name.
Yeah, he's like, I'll go over there and beat up every N-word there is, or something weird. It was like, what the fuck?
What?
And then somebody tried to defend that and go, well, come on, there's no way you can be racist and play football because you're with. I'm like,
seriously?
what are you talking about? Right. Of course you can. Of course, like, what is this? Like,
well, I like how people have the thing in their head, like, oh, if you're racist, you can't interact with people of a different color at all. I'm like, what are you talking about?
Dude, I would argue that racists sometimes are the best at faking it. Right, and then you're like, oh shit, this guy.
Because they've been holding on to this for so long that they can walk amongst society and be like, and then they go home like, can't believe how many N-words I was around, you know.
Dude, it's insane.
My dad used to take me to. I'm sorry, Todd. Go on.
No, go ahead.
My dad used to take me to SMU football games in the '60s, and
this after Doak Walker.
Yeah, barely though, Jerry. Yeah. That's fine. No, that's good.
Doak Walker, by the way, was in the.
Did they have the forward pass?
Yeah, it was a forward pass around. Yeah,
they were still running the wishbone. They were doing that, but yeah. I love being the token senior citizen on this podcast.
Hilarious.
I think you saw a 5-year-old Eric Dickerson hanging out. Right? Come on, Courtney, it's the last one.
Go
pre-Jerry Kerr.
So there was a first black player on the SMU football team, Jerry Levice, who later played for the Houston Oilers. Amazing kickoff returner, wide receiver, scat back. I mean, he could do it all. And the entire time he played for SMU, no one on the team spoke to him.
Jeez, that's brutal.
No one on the team spoke to him, but he would suit up every day, put on his cleats, and he'd get out there and he'd bang with the rest of them. But none of them would speak to him. And so anybody that says there's not racism in sports,
it's all over.
Screw you.
This is
and it was Southern Methodist, right? A Christian university.
Supposed to accept
they're the worst. They're the worst.
Absolutely. So.
Well, do you think, and this is for everybody here, and I'm not just saying this as someone who grew up in Dallas and was taught to hate Houston, I still loved this guy. Yeah. Is racism one of the reasons why Warren Moon isn't talked about as one of the greatest quarterbacks who's ever lived?
I think
it's why he wasn't in the NFL to begin with.
He had to go to Canada. He had to. I mean, if you put his Canada,
he is one of the greatest quarterbacks ever. Let's just get that out of the way.
Warren Moon absolutely. And you talk about no racism sport. Doug Williams went to the USFL because the Tampa Bay owner was so racist. Yeah, he didn't want to play for the guy.
Right. And look at Kaepernick, and you say, okay, this guy took a knee.
Right.
And they say, okay, well, this guy got to go. Well, did he hurt animals like Michael Vick?
Right.
No.
Did he steal welfare from people like Brett Favre?
No.
This dude, did he put somebody in the trunk like Ray Caruth? Yeah.
Did he murder people like Aaron Hernandez?
Exactly. So all he did was take a knee for social justice.
Yeah.
And that dude's career was ended. And then you had people doing all of these different things saying, well, he's not good. I'm like, what do you mean he's not good?
He took him to the fucking Super Bowl.
Right.
I thought the Super Bowl.
And they almost won that thing. Came back.
They almost came back. Yep.
Yeah.
So the racism in sports has always been there, just like the racism in the country. But I think what people keep trying to do is they say, like Eddie's point, well, you can't be around these people and not use the N-word. And like they think that racists have to walk around saying N-word, 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 N-word.
Right.
No, that's not how they.
Or racists just hang out with other white people. Like they don't commingle with different races.
Exactly. It is impossible to only associate with one group of people in this country, unless, I mean, Idaho, Montana, some places, of course. But when you live in most metropolitan cities, that's why it's a huge difference between Austin, Texas, and say what's the like a really rural area of Texas that
Oh God,
Vidor, Texas.
Vidor's a Klan town.
So
It's a sunset town.
Yeah.
So it's a huge difference between Austin, college educated people, more diversity. So you have less of it, but they still exist. Whereas opposed to these other places, I think people for some reason they keep fooling themselves into thinking that we're past that. The only way we get past this thing is to address this thing. That's it. That's the only way. And you have to understand, if you hate somebody that you've never met and you just hate them just because of what they look like, that's a sickness, man. I ain't
There's
never
something wrong with
understand.
you. There's something beyond.
Or
wrong
you're
with
taking
you.
whatever you think that person is like because they are that race, and as soon as you meet them, you project all that onto them. Like, I hate this guy because of all these misconceptions I have about who they are before you even talk to them.
Exactly, bro. And so when it comes to Hogan, like I remember my wife when she told me this morning, the first thing I said was like, "Good, fuck him."
Yeah, fuck. I mean, it was
which is crazy. Which is crazy because again, same thing how we started the show. If you would have told me that news 15 years ago, I would have been like, "What? Hogan? Oh, that's crazy! Wow." Now I'm like, good.
Yeah.
Good.
It's sad. It's true. It's raw. And again, I've never understood.
It's just a shame that the other deaths, like Ozzy Osbourne's death and Malcolm Jamal Warner's death, have been overshadowed because this dipshit died.
I know.
It's if I can for like a half a second, you guys. Yeah. And I'm gonna share it on some other posts that I have. I haven't posted anything about Malcolm Jamal Warner because a lot of people have been doing it and showing these clips.
Yeah.
I saw something yesterday where he was being interviewed and he said, it said, "What do you think your legacy will be?" And he said, "Well, Mr. Cosby told me that he made me immortal with the Cosby Show," which is true. But then he said, "I would want my legacy." He said, "But then my dad told me that I'm a good person." He said, "I'm a good person." He said, "My dad told me I was a good person. So to me, I want that to be my legacy, that I was a good person." He said, fucks with me every time. He said, it's hard. He said, with all of this darkness, it's hard to maintain your soul, but you have to maintain your soul and still be a good person.
That's brilliant. Yeah.
And that's what stuck with me more than anything of the Cosby Show. And so with people like that, you say, well, will people remember Malcolm Jamal Warner the same way they remember Hulk Hogan? Probably not. Because Hulk Hogan had a bigger fan base when it came to certain things. But when you talk about legacy as a human being,
oh man,
it's not even close.
Not even a little bit. Not even a little bit. By the way, this is the We Ain't Right podcast. Give us a listen or subscribe. 5-star rating, positive text review. All those. I think we already have one. So we thank our first 5-star rating and reviewer, Zach Dahlem. Thank you for that.
Thanks, Zach.
I am comedian
Thank you,
Jerry
Mike.
Rocha. You want to go around? Let's go around. Who else wants to introduce themselves?
Ty Barnett.
Eddie Pence.
Courtney Subtle.
With a bartending story. Let's go, Courtney.
I've got some
baby.
wrestling stories first. You got some wrestling stories
first? Look, let me tell you something. I think the people want the bartending story.
I think that we're going to go with the wrestling stories, and maybe we'll have time for bartending stories.
Hilarious.
What a cop
Okay,
separate the art from the artist. Look at this.
I was introduced to wrestling in the 60s. Chief Wahoo McDaniel, Sportatorium Wrestling, black and white on Saturday night.
Now, not actually a Native American, correct? Who
No,
portrayed him?
not actually a Native American, but he did have a nice headdress.
Yes.
And I would watch on Saturday nights. Our caregiver, Anna Lee, who was with us for years and years, I'd go back to her bedroom and sit on the floor. And the reason that I loved that so much was not necessarily because of the wrestling, even though that was fun, because she would hoop and holler, and she was totally into it. And it was such a joy to see her so joyful. That's what wrestling started and meant to me. And
I love that. Courtney, that's what made me, it would have happened anyway. Right. But the reason I'm such a Dallas Cowboys fan was the Tony Dorsett 99.5-yard run. I remember I was a little kid, but just seeing my mother just scream, "Go Tony! Go Tony!" Like I was just like, oh, this is awesome. And that was it. Like I remember my mom lost her fucking mind when he just exploded out of that line. And she was just screaming, "Go, Tony! Go, go!"
It makes you sit up and take notice.
Yes, absolutely.
When you said Chief Wahoo, it just made me think about Scott Hall.
Oh, Razor Ramon.
When you see that this dude went from the most milquetoast white dude to Razor Ramon, I remember watching the thing like, wait, that was Scott. I remember Scott Hall. What are you talking? And so he said he went through all of these things of being basic, and he found that character. And then every time after that, I would listen to him do that accent, and I'm like, really? This is what we're doing?
Now, this is funny you said that. I got to meet him when I was doing a gig in Atlanta.
He was the Diamond Stud before that.
Diamond Stud, and he talked about that, and he said he pitched it to Vince thinking there's no way he's going to approve this. Vince apparently had never seen Scarface and thought it was the most original idea he'd ever heard for a gimmick. And then so Hall was like, well, shit, now I had to. And he goes, and then we would go to like New York, and like all these Latino fans would just yell at me in Spanish, and I would just go, "All right, Chico." Like I didn't know what to say. Like that's all fucking hilarious. Like, yeah, that's
my God.
So I love
what's your other story? What's your other story, Courtney?
I got two others. The second one, when I was a bar manager at the Red Jacket, like 97, 98.
Yeah.
The production came to Dallas, and the owner bought all of his tickets, and we took the entire staff.
Red Jacket, by the way, a really nice nightclub in Dallas, correct?
Yes.
Nightclub restaurant?
Yeah,
or just
biggest
nightclub?
dance club in Dallas at that time. Huge. And that's the one I was talking about with the Ruby Room, with the...
Yes, the JFK thing.
Right. And did you guys watch that trailer? I think Jerry sent it to you.
All those fucking Luna.
Thank you for sending that, by the way.
Yeah.
So we all go, and we're sitting on the first level up, so the cameras are facing us. And of course, I'm with a bunch of bartending lunatics, and we had two professionally made signs. And the first one that we held up, remember the Got Milk campaign? The first sign that we held up was Got Porn. And we were approached pretty quickly by the staff and said, "You can't do that."
You take
and
these
the
down.
second sign that we held up, waited next commercial break. And then when that came back, we had up the sign that said, "Jesus, the other white meat." And they were very, very upset about that one.
Like, can you just do the porn one? Can you just
Go back to the porn.
That?
Never mind. We're sorry we told you to take the porn one down.
Right. And they said, anyway, it was one of my greatest because I was a huge Goldberg fan. And he was fighting the entire, what were the young punks? I can't remember their name. They were all like the goth kids, whatever.
Raven's Flock?
I think it was, yeah. And he took them all on, and he was getting his ass beat. And then, of course, on the stage walks up Herschel Walker, Bret Hall, and Chuck Norris to back him up.
Oh God, Chuck Norris! Geez.
And that sound you were talking about
that
just
roar,
just the place exploded. Now I know Chuck Norris now and Herschel Walker to just giant pieces of human garbage.
What do we think about Bret Hall? I'm sure Bret Hall has to be MAGA, right?
I'm glad you said it. I didn't. But anyway, Goldberg did the spear and just was like, The place went nuts, and it was my greatest like wrestling experience ever until I worked on a documentary with Chris Howell, the director, called Old Man. And what he did was he got a bunch of guys to come talk about their fathers.
Oh, wow.
And it was a short documentary. I ended up applying for the grant and got the Texas Film Production Fund grant, $5,000 for that film. And one of the people that we interviewed was the surviving Von Erich brother.
Oh,
Kevin?
Yeah.
Talk about his dad and his brothers and that whole thing. And it was just,
wow.
It was like, to be a part of that from Dallas and to have known those guys and have served a couple of them in the bartending business.
Sure.
And then to see this guy with, everything that they went through. So
anyway, that's fucking, I love the science. That's great.
Yeah.
But you mentioned something about bartending?
Yes.
Courtney?
That's
weird. Bartending? I didn't know you were a bartender. Please share, elaborate. We've been waiting.
Jerry with the alley-oop.
Thank you. I felt like that was Pippen over Patrick Ewing. Right there.
Yes.
Just standing over him, dick in the face, dunk.
All right.
You walked into that one, Courtney.
I did. Both barrels. God, what an idiot.
When we first talked about putting this show together, this was supposed to be a weekly segment, by the way. Was Courtney's.
And you've avoided it for 4 weeks.
Horror stories from.
Almost 5.
Yeah, almost 5. Let's hear one. Let's go.
Mid-90s. I'm working down in Padre Island, spring break at a place called
familiar with
Charlie's.
Padre Island, Eddie or Ty?
No.
So
Yeah.
it is okay. So it is the destination for senior, junior high schoolers and all college kids in Texas during spring break.
Right.
You just load up the car. You drive down to Padre Island. It's kind of close to Corpus Christi, correct?
No, it's on the other end of Corpus Christi.
That's right.
It's down to the south, right across from Matamoros. It is
That's
literally
right.
the place that SpaceX launches their rockets, those that don't blow up.
Right.
So,
and you're right by Mexico.
Right,
and
right by Mexico.
It is for like summer and spring break. It's the ultimate party destination in Texas.
If you can't afford to go to Hawaii, you go to you load up the kids in the trailer, pull it out of the trailer park, and you go to, which is why we call South Padre Island Hillbilly Hawaii during the summer.
That's right. Yep.
So, but during spring break, I mean, we get tens of thousands of kids from all over the country coming down to party, and it would be 22 to 24 bartenders taking on 8,000 to 12,000 kids a night.
Jesus
Oh my God.
It was insane. And he would hire bartenders from all over the country, and it was like this little cult crew. And we would go there, and I mean, just some hammers, absolutely amazing bartenders that would go down there. And anyway, I happened to be this night.
You're in a safe space, buddy.
Not really, but go for it.
Yeah, but go for it. So it was Friday night, Texas night. So it's absolutely, that's when it's off the chain. And I'm working the busiest well at the busiest bar outside 6 Bar, and I'm on 6A, and I never got to work it because even though I'm a hammer bartender, there's like 3 or 4 guys that were just, lights out. Anyway, I got it. It's my big shot. I'm doing well. And understand, because we're doing 8,000 to 12,000 kids a night. Wow. They card everybody at the gate, at the 2 gates that come in. They card them, and everything is done on your left wrist. So either you have a band, and we walk around before every, this is the color band tonight, and the band is on the left wrist, and a stamp for the door cover, or you have a huge black permanent marker X, right?
Right.
And so we know that you're a minor, and we just all night long, you're left wrist, and everybody's holding up their left wrist. And that's how we know who we can serve and who gets a Coke, right? So these 2 girls come up to the bar, just your average, nice looking, spring break college students. She holds up, the first one holds up her left wrist, the other one holds up her right wrist. And I'm like thinking, fucking door staff once again. Now I've got to stop the entire process, send somebody to get the assistant manager, whatever. And I'm like, I can't serve you. And she's like, he told me it would be all right. And I'm 6 deep at the bar. People are shouting. They start throwing ice at you to get their drinks.
Oh God.
It's out of control. And I'm trying to get this girl to show me her left wrist because I'm thinking, okay, it's going to have a big black X on it. And, she's just somehow found a band, gotten somebody, they would take the stamp when it was wet and they do this with their, to get it on the other hand. So I'm listen, I don't have time to fuck with you. I just need your drink order so I can move on. And I need you to show me your wrist. And I get so upset and I'm shouting that it gets quiet at the bar as everybody's looking at me and her, and she's saying, he told me it would be all right. He told me it would be all right. And then I'm like, I'm not going to serve you. I'm not going to give you shit until you show me your left wrist. Now she's got tears coming down her eyes.
Oh, Jesus Christ.
As everybody is watching, all the young guys, at the bar getting drinks watching. I'm being a complete asshole. Tears down her face, and she says, he told me it would be all right, as she lifts up her left hand, and it's the thalidomide flipper from Total Recall.
Oh no! Oh fuck! Oh dude! Oh dude! Holy shit! Wow.
So now all the guys are looking down, and she's humiliated, and she's in tears, and I'm just like, what do you say?
Here are all the drinks you want. Here.
Right, well,
on the house.
Right.
Take
and it's
it
at
all.
that point that Joe, our assistant manager, I love him to death, but he shows up 15 seconds after that happens, and he points at her and he goes, Courtney, she's okay to use her right wrist. And I'm like, fucking asshole.
Thanks, pal.
Thanks
for the heads up. Oh my God.
Yeah.
Wow. That is.
Oh, my heart's pounding right now. I can't even imagine. If there's a hell, I'm going there. There's nothing that you can say
I read
or
about
do.
a girl with that deformity who hung herself in Padre around that time. That night just fucking ended it all.
I mean, it was.
Gosh.
Yes.
Oh, dude.
That's the prequel to a horror movie. I know what you did.
And there's nothing. There is no recovery. There's no amount of free drinks because she was humiliated. Right,
she just takes
all these young guys looking at her, everybody, and we became
turns into
like,
ash.
It
from
was
Living
that
Dead.
whole night was like that's the night that we found. We had a cocktail waitress, so they're actually shot girls. When we were doing checkouts that night, it's like, where's Rachel? Where's Rachel?
Yeah.
We found her tray with her tip tray caddy, which was empty, and one shoe in the corner of the bar. Never saw her, heard from her again. The crowd ate her. She never came to pick up her check. To this day, it was a horrible night.
Do you think something nefarious happened, or was it just she just was overwhelmed by the pressure?
We pray that
she was just overwhelmed by the pressure. Well, you telling me that you had, at this point, 15 to 20 kids throwing ice at you?
Oh yeah,
hurry
they throw ice, they throw little straws, whatever.
Fuck. Now,
what now?
There was no kind of CB system where someone could go, Courtney, girl in the blue thing, she's coming up to you, she's fine. There's
no radios. We had. I was a supervisor. There was 4 supervisors that were also bartenders, and we had radios all the way leading up to when the doors would open, and then we'd have to surrender our radios to another security guy because we weren't going to be talking on the radio. It was fucking busy.
But at least you didn't look at her and go, okay, nice trick, lady, but let's see your wrist. At least you didn't do that. At least you did. Okay, pretty good trick there, lady.
If he would have said, if I had $1 for everyone that came up, look, we got another one, you guys. Look.
It's always a snark. It's like, nice try. Let me see the wrist. Come on. Really? Let's go. Because it's all about the illusion of control. It is about realize.
Well, I will say, Courtney, now I understand why you've been hesitant.
Dude. And I've got, after all my years in the bar business,
I will say worth the wait. I will say worth the wait.
Worth the wait, absolutely.
Yeah, for
Holy,
you, for me.
oh God, dude, and because I've had working retail, I've had moments of whatever where you're just like, I don't want to be. I just fucked up. I don't want to be here right now. Oh, I can only imagine.
I've talked about this incident in therapy.
How could you?
It never leaves you.
How would now the throwing of the ice, was that like
right?
something that happened over time, or was it like they told you before you got the job, like, yo, just so you know, they're gonna
right
to get your attention?
So my friend Dave got me a job down there, and you have to know somebody that knows somebody to even get an interview with Dan. As a matter of fact, the first year that I showed up, Dan said, if this other girl who's ahead of you, if she calls in, you're out. Sorry you drove all the way down here. It's only a 10-hour drive from Dallas.
Right.
But she didn't show, so I got the gig, and you're not prepared for it. There's nothing that can prepare you for all the bartending I've done to that point. Nothing can compare to they come to, now, they don't care. They're never going to see you again.
What would you make in a night, though? Like, how worth it? Like, what do you make in a night doing that?
A lot of money.
Come on, give us a number.
Come on.
A lot of money. After you...
4 figures? Are you making 4 figures a night?
No, not 4 figures. Mid 4 figures every night. After tipping out the bar back.
Shit!
No, not mid... I'm sorry. Mid 3 figures every night.
Oh, mid 3.
Sorry. But you got to understand, that's 6 weeks in a row. I'm a supervisor. I don't get a day off. I get one of the Cherry Wells every time and every night. And without it, so I'm walking out of there after 6 weeks. You take my manager's bonus with it, and which he was always really nice. He gave us some cash, wink, wink. And then there was the check that was the bonus. I'd walk out of there with, after 6 weeks, 15 grand.
Jesus. Would they put you up in a hotel?
Throw as much ice as you want.
Yeah, throw all that ice, please.
Yeah, and you learn really quickly that it's survival of the fittest, and you have to maintain that illusion of control. And if, like, when these two ladies came up to the bar and it threw a friggin',
right,
threw some sand in the gears, and it just then they can see nothing's happening. They're not going to get a drink, and then they start trying to get your attention any way they can.
Since you didn't live there, where would you stay? Would they give you a hotel room? Would they
no,
give you an apartment?
You pay for your own accommodations. Of course, I became the owner. One of the owners, Dan, became one of my best friends, and so the last few years I'd go down there. I'd actually stay with him, so they cost
perfect.
Me. So that was all in the bank.
And then my next question: how many dumb, drunk college dudes would just beat the fuck out of each other every night in those bars? Was it just endless bar fights? That's all.
We were told in orientation, and I remember that first orientation. Dan gathers the entire staff, barbacks, security, everybody together. You do an orientation. You go through the manual. You literally read it word for word. And it was my first year there, and he said, and to emphasize, do not go into the crowd because you might not come back.
Fuck.
Do not go into the crowd. They'll eat you. Do not go into the crowd. Do not go into the crowd. Do not go into the crowd. And I'll tell another story another time about how I went into the crowd.
Now, was it DJs, live music, a little bit of both?
It was DJs.
DJs. Now, were the DJs?
And we did have some live music, like the Romantics played, and
shit.
You'd have some bands every once in a while. But basically, it was DJ, and the bands would only play for like an hour. And Dan pulled if he saw no activity at the bar because the band was bad, he'd pull the plug. There was one band that only played 2 songs, and it's like, "Here's your drink tab. Here's your money. Thanks for coming. Thanks for playing."
That's reminds me of the Blues Brothers with the
chicken wire.
And the thing that brought me out to LA was I had a screenplay called Liquid Dallas, which was all about that deal, and I had some people very interested in it because they're like, we've never even seen or heard of a culture like this before.
That's
did you didn't push the screenplay?
Yeah, but understand, when I came out here, I was a younger man, and I didn't know that when you go into a pitch meeting, they're going to say, okay, what else you got? And I had nothing else. I had no other bullets in the chamber. I didn't know that's how it worked.
Got you.
It was brutal. It was freaking brutal.
It's,
I had one production company. It was down to my screenplay and another screenplay. I was like right there, and they picked the other screenplay to produce. So
that is
it's crazy because I think you should revisit that. By the way,
same.
Because here's the thing: Hollywood. First of all, they're always looking for new ideas, and you know, don't get me wrong, they remake enough things to where. But I think stories like those, especially with this younger generation being into their phones, all you got to do is upgrade some of the stuff in it, the details, like they're on the. Why not? I don't see why. I would dust off that screenplay, bro.
Thank you, bro. Well,
Yes,
it was a lot of fun, and it was also some terrifying. I mean, anyway, I think we should talk about.
I can't imagine being on that end of it. Like I've never been, and I don't know about Ty or Eddie, but like doing stand-up comedy, as long as we've been doing it, like I don't like going to nightclubs when I'm not working.
Right.
I don't like, so I really don't see that world, and I couldn't imagine. I mean, I get annoyed enough when I go to like a concert and people are rowdy. And
I literally just had this conversation with some comics in Vegas, of all places, and I told them the very first time I went to Vegas was when I had the most fun. That's when I was younger. I was like, I'm with my friends, my first time in Vegas, I'm telling jokes. So that was fun. Any time after that has been, I get to the room, I put my disturb sign on the door. I don't leave the room until, like, if the show starts at 7, I look at my set time and I say, okay, there's 15 minutes for this person. Yes. I leave with enough time to walk downstairs, say hi to the people, get on stage, do my thing. And when I tell you, I'm not even bullshitting, I just came back from Vegas. When I'm done with my set, I sprint from the backstage to get back into the casino to get to my room. I'm playing PlayStation probably 30 minutes after I got off there.
Dude, I take my PS5 with me when I go to Vegas because I drive usually. And I'm like, fuck it. I'm packing my video games. I'm just going to stay in my fucking hotel. That's it.
See, with us, we didn't, especially as supervisors, we get there at like 4, right? Because I was in charge of the registers. I had to repair them, get them set up, do all that for the night. And at 9 o'clock, you're just going to get your ass handed to you. And it's that anticipation and that anxiety, like, oh, God.
You know it's coming.
You know it's coming, and you know that it's going to be this way for 30
You're like a
friggin'
quarterback
days,
staring down a blitz.
Right.
You
every night.
huddle, and you're just staring down the 85 Bears
every night
coming at you with the blitz. You're like, oh, fuck, here we go.
It's just, anyway.
I think that kind of changes your perspective on being social. Like, let me ask you something. Do you think you could do that now?
It's a young man's game, and dude, I left it all on the field. Literally left it all on the field. I got nothing more to give my country. I'm done.
I got you. I don't know where you guys are with it, Eddie and Jerry. Is that like I used to do the meet and greet after the show. Like I used to be like, hey, how you guys want to make to the show? Especially if you're selling something. Like I don't sell merch. I don't have anything to sell. But now, like, I avoid that so much. Like, unless they see me, like, if they see me outside of the thing, we just have to catch a glance. I'm cool with that. Like, hey, thank you, I appreciate it. Because I don't want to be that guy. I never want to be an asshole. Like, I'm antisocial, but I don't want to be an asshole.
Yeah.
So
I always say hi, but I don't like hang around looking for it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So I feel like, and that came from so much of being around people so much to where it's like, I love the stage. The only thing that has remained the same is how I feel on stage.
Yeah.
That part, I love it every day, all day. But once I'm done, I'm like, boom, up, and so to go from what you had to deal with, Courtney, with I'm talking about like 8,000 people, all of this type of stuff. Ooh. I got anxiety listening to your story.
1,000%.
Well, like when I was coming up, like. It hurt my career because I would go down to the Improv. I would do my 7-minute set and then I would leave. I wouldn't hang out at the bar. I wouldn't mingle with other I would just leave. Mm-hmm. And it damaged my career. I think it set me back a while just because I didn't mingle with enough other comics to network.
Yeah,
which was a problem.
On the island, you're there trapped with all those kids. And we had two places.
It's like Lord of the Flies every night.
We had 2 places we would go eat, which is like the Gulf Coast when Coach worked there, and he'd keep the bar open just for us. And then Joseph's right next to Charlie's back then, and we would go there and they'd do the bar. And because we didn't want to see, I don't know who I pissed off the night before. I know they're on the island.
Yeah.
I know they're going to remember me. I do not want to run into any of them. I do not want. Yeah.
Yes.
I came to see you.
Yeah. So we had a couple of places we would go, and we would hunker down, we'd eat our food, and we go to work, and then you don't know who's hunting you, because I guarantee you, oh God, I pissed off so many people. Oh God.
I don't and it's like, it's weird because like the performance part of doing what we do is the only thing that still makes sense to me. It's the social activity of people, and to what you're saying, Eddie, is like, when I first started coming to Los Angeles, I'm not to toot my own horn, but I was a really good networker. I was really good glad handed, man. Like, hey, how you doing? I was super good at it. And I don't know. Yeah, I met people and it was cool. Opportunities came from it. But then I think when I realized, a lot of these people just surface and are very shitty people.
So much of it. Yep. So much of it.
And so you have this thing where you're like, this is part of my job, but so then it went from all the time I'm there to I'm going to go to the Improv if my friends are there. If my friends are coming out, I'm going to stay and hang out with my friends. But if my friends ain't there and I don't know anybody there, you're not asking me to be there. And Courtney, there used to be a time where, and you remember, you would probably understand this. There used to be a time where if they wanted to see you, they would set it up a showcase. You come down, all right, Eddie, Jerry, we're going to put you on the showcase. These people are coming to see you, so you got to come down. So you know going into it, I'm going to the Improv. This person's coming to see me, so there's a purpose.
Yeah,
and they would come. They would watch you. They would talk to you. That's why the bar area made sense, because it was like, all right, they just saw me here, and you sit in that little corner booth and you talk. And when that stopped, and these motherfuckers just want to see links. I don't even want to. I'm not coming down to the thing.
They don't come out.
So it's like, what's the point? What's the point of being social in this situation?
Yeah.
Well, after all I'm 36 years old, and all this happened at Padre. all of this happened, right?
Yeah, this was 2015 when all this went down.
Hilarious.
Yeah, all of that happened. There's a reason I'm Dorian grayed out right here.
God.
Did you guys?
It just sounds like if the three of us, Eddie, Ty, and I, just had to do tribble runs and nothing else every night of the fucking week for like 6 weeks.
Just the thought alone of being in those rooms,
of barking and just screaming, trying to get attention.
Listen, I will tell you, one of the worst moments. I was doing a show in Grants Pass early, like I had been doing comedy about a year and a half or something like that. So and I still live in Washington State, so it was just a drive to Oregon. And so I get to the bar, and this is, I didn't know anything about the history of Grants Pass. I just knew the show was at this hotel in Grant. So I go, and this is, to this day, this is the worst intro I ever received in this entire business ever. God. So I'm off to the side, and there's this dude just standing there, hillbilly looking dude, looked like he just came from baling hay, like that's bananas, like he's so underdressed for a fucking comedy show. And so he's like, and I'm off to the side. He's just like, all right, you guys, we're gonna get the comedy show started. And I don't think he knew that. I don't think I was on a flyer. I wasn't on the thing.
Right.
So he's like, all right, you guys are going to get the comedy show started. We're going to get everything together. Your first comic coming. He's like, here's your first comic.
Oh, God.
Oh, it's like when Sheriff Bart showed up at Rock Ridge. Oh, man.
What do you do?
He dropped the mic. And I'm talking about not even, I'm sorry. Not like, he looked at me like, now what? And at the time, and someone told me, man, I don't know if it was the ancestors, like Ty, that not here. Don't react to that here. So I went, picked up the mic. I think I made a joke about it. Did my set. People laughed. They had fun. I'm sitting at the bar after the show, and the guy comes up to me, and he's like, "Hey, man, I just want you to know you're a very funny dude, very funny, and I appreciate your service because I think I said something about being in the military at the time. He says, now I'm going to tell you this because you seem like a decent guy. He said, don't leave the hotel.
Wow.
Said what? He said, let's just say it's people in this town that won't think you're as nice as you are.
Oh,
and he said, I'm telling you this because I was in the military too. So needless to say, I stayed in the hotel that night, and as soon as the sun came up, I left. But it taught me that even though, and again, what was crazy is that people enjoyed the show. Not a single person told me the N-word while I was performing. Not a single person said it afterwards. But that guy told me, hey, man, there are people here that don't like you simply because of who you are.
Oh,
so is that Vidor, Texas? Jerry knows what I'm talking about.
So he only warned you because you guys both were in the military. Had you not been in the military,
he'd have just
he might have not given a shit.
Exactly, bro. So when to go all the way back to the beginning of the show,
wow.
People say, well, Hogan can't be racist because he was around these other black people, or people can't be racist in football. No. People still can be racist. It's just when they pick and choose to let that racism come out. And I think what has taught me over the years is to say, there's a reason why I live in California and I don't live in Texas and I don't live in Georgia and I don't live in Mississippi, because I know that I have to be performing for these people to not give me their true energy.
Right.
Oh.
Oh God, that's brutal.
Well, this is the Rounders, the movie Rounders, when he says you don't remember the hero wins, you remember the bad beats. And when we get together to tell the bartending stories, I'm absolutely sure it's the same in the comedy thing. Yeah. We don't talk about the hero rings and the giant tip pulls and this and that and the other. We talk about what I talked about today. Just the horrifying bad nights, bad shifts, just because that's what sticks with you and that's what forms your character as well.
Yeah.
And I wonder if just because what that piece of shit has done to our country, Ty, if you had done that gig now, would that crowd not have held back? Would they have been like, we don't care if he's funny. We're still going to tell him we don't like him. Like, we're just so brazen about it now.
I think that what has happened, and I couldn't, and people, they think it's hyperbolic sometimes, which is weird. I'm like, this dark cloud has been over this country for 10 years.
Yeah.
A decade of what we've been dealing with this guy. And I said, it's not just him. Like, he's one person. He's not smart enough to be controlling this. No, he's just the face of it. And
he's a symptom of it.
That's all it is. So when you look at how, like, even look at what's going on now with these, I still can't believe this, bro. So you're telling me Pam Bondi is gonna go meet with Maxwell to talk about these files that she said were on her desk?
Oh yeah, nothing's gonna go wrong there.
And you telling me
make a deal?
You see what I'm saying? But now here's what's crazy, because this isn't even a black and white thing. This is a right or wrong thing at this point. Yeah. These are the same people that a year ago, Joe Biden sniffed one girl's hair. And these motherfuckers gotta go.
Yep.
They gotta go. Marjorie Taylor Greene held up pictures of Hunter Biden's laptop.
Yep. Naked photos.
Yeah.
So you're telling me this
in the
guy,
House of Congress.
You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So this guy's on flight logs, pictures. They got quotes of each other. They got all of these different things, and you're telling me you don't see the Department of Justice, who first of all told him he was on the thing. They told him he was on these flight logs. They told him he was in the files, and then she hires FBI agents to take him
1,000.
Are you fucking kidding me?
Where's the conspiracy podcast about this? Like, where are those fucking guys at?
And you ain't gonna see him, Eddie.
You're not gonna hear him. You're not gonna hear him.
You're not gonna see him.
You're not gonna hear him. You're not gonna.
Well, if you're watching We Ain't Right, you will.
Please, you're not gonna hear the Rogans. You're not gonna hear any of them say a fucking thing about it.
They're not gonna bring it up, and it's weird. It's like, well, y'all fucking made your bones bringing this shit up.
Yes.
When you said it was the Clintons doing it. You just, and if it is, hey man, if Bill Clinton's on that list, lock his ass fucking up.
Fuck them all, man.
It's funny y'all say Bill Clinton. Bill Clinton got impeached for lying about a blowjob.
Yep.
You telling me this dude can't even get an impeachment off of this.
It's
None of this. So what happens when I said about this dark cloud and how it's seeped into people, and if I had to give it a silver lining, at least you're starting to see more and more how bullshit people are. So now you can know going forward, like, oh, okay, y'all ain't
not
really
fucking with this person ever again.
Yeah. You're not really Christians. You just say that shit, just kind of appease yourself. But I don't really. Sometimes I feel like it can be fixed, and then other times I feel hopeless. And right in this moment, I feel hopeless because I'm like, this is the most blatant cover up in a long fucking time.
Fucking
like,
ever.
How do you not call it that? Like you're going to, and you think that so you're gonna go talk to her and ask her to come testify, and then you're gonna pardon her, but then you're gonna pardon a convicted sex trafficker.
And you're gonna expect us to believe her story after this secret meeting with Pam Bondi.
Come on, man.
I gotta say this to the point of finding hope. I honestly think, and maybe this is me just reaching, but I think the season premiere of South Park might be one of the most politically important pieces of satire that we've ever had. Have you seen it yet? I
just saw the clip by him in bed with Satan.
Fuck, there is.
Watch the last 2 minutes of the episode when they do an AI. They do an AI thing, and it's a comment on AI, but it's also destroys Trump.
Okay,
it is.
It's amazing.
I've never seen South Park go after anything the way they went after him. And I was like, oh my God.
They went after Paramount. They went after the media. They went after Comedy Central. They went after themselves. Like, if we don't stop this, we're going to get canceled. Like, they were literally saying the things that they should be saying if they wanted to keep their show.
The funniest was like bad news.
They went after everybody.
In the episode, bad news comes out about Trump, and it cuts to 60 Minutes, and all the anchors are terrified to say anything. It was fucking perfect. It's like, it was great.
But that's where people should really be concerned about this, because when you take Colbert off the air, first of all, you're telling me that you don't see it's almost like he's driving to fascism.
Right.
And picking up people on the way.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? It's not like no one's trying
to. And he's already threatened Kimmel and Fallon.
Do you see what I'm saying? Yet the people on his side say, we're free speech. We don't like woke. This is the most anti-free speech dude.
Right.
What are you talking about? He literally can't handle people saying shit about him. And these are the same people that walked around with the let's go Brandon and
fuck your feelings.
Fuck your feelings. And for them not to see this, what's disheartening about it is that we can say like we listen to Courtney's story and we say, okay, wow, that's messed up. Because we all had the same feeling when the arms story. All of us said, oh wow, that's fucked up. Wow, that's fucked up. That's because we have feelings about this person.
Yes.
But if any of us would have been like, yeah, fuck that bitch, and she should have showed you arm. So what? It's
right.
The thing of it's this mindset that this cloud has come over this country to where I have to say this one more time. The head of the Department of Justice is on their way to go make a deal with a sex trafficker to make sure that her boss doesn't get implicated with the fucking sex trafficker.
That we all know he was all over. That
should be the sentence.
And to Ty's point, if Courtney had told that story to Trump, he would have been like, well, she automatically goes from an 8 to a 5 if she's got a hand like that. Like, that's what he would have done. He would have been like, I wouldn't have served her either. What a disgusting animal. Like, that's what he would have said.
Yes.
I hate that this story has become a focus of the We Ain't Right podcast.
About
who has a soul and who doesn't have a soul. Well, let's talk about Courtney's story again, and maybe we can determine.
We needed it because we need the reminders, and this is why it's hard sometimes to think about people like Hogan, because there was a time where you believed that people were better people. Yeah. You believed it. Like you said, nah, man, we look at this guy, like we're cheering him on, and he's becoming more and more powerful, and he's able to defeat evil and all that. And then you like, oh, that was just a show. Because then
you also believed good always wins out. No matter how bad it would get, good would always triumph.
Right.
And it's hard to see that now.
Yes.
Well, we worship the person for their accomplishments and not for who they are. I mean, Steve Jobs was one of the biggest assholes ever to walk into a building, at Apple. I mean, he treated his employees like dirt, and he was self-centered. He wasn't really nice to his daughter at all. And yet he's, because he invented the iPod and the iPhone or
all the shit we use every day.
Right. Everybody's like, he's.
Yeah, I don't know, man. I'm not really sure.
Ha.
I'm not sure. What?
Like that's.
But do you understand what I'm saying? There's
No, you're right. You're absolutely right, and that's. But that's what I mean by, and Eddie just said it. It's like that's why. Here's the thing: you should have a hard line of you don't abuse children. I mean, also we'll throw animals in there too, but you should have a hard line on child abuse. It is no gray area.
Yep.
So, to what Eddie said, I don't care if Bill Clinton's on the list. Get them all. Get every single one of them.
Get every one of them.
I don't care who it is.
All the scumbags.
All of them. But if you're going to tell me, well, how is he mentioned? What the fuck are you talking about?
Right.
What do you mean? What are we doing when you say, well, I'm against pedophilia, depending?
But if it's my hero, then if it's the guy that I worship, because now I'm gonna be fucking mean here, but if it's the guy that I worship because I'm a fucking loser and he makes me feel better about being a fucking loser, then okay, never mind, I'm good.
That's the nail right there. He makes me feel better about being a loser, so I gotta rock with him. I have to because this dude is who makes me feel good about me. And so when I see this happening, I'm like, man, hold up, bro. Can we bare minimum then just say, stop with the pretending that y'all the party of Christian values and all this? Can we stop with that? No more of that. I don't want to hear it anymore because you clearly don't believe in that. You mean to tell me not only did you get these files, you lied about having them, lied about them existing, then you found out, okay, cool, my boss is in these files. So what's crazy is that you look at this woman and you say, wait a minute, how can you protect animals and still fucking look yourself in the fucking face?
Absolutely.
How can you protect this fucking monster? And
power, money and power.
If it's just about money and power, I'd rather.
Well, I'm talking the people in Congress. Yes, the money and power.
No. You're right. That's what I'm saying. But I'd rather them. Let's go with that from now on.
Right.
So stop with the pretending. You're not good people. You're not protecting kids. You're not about this. I'm protecting him. Fuck them kids. I'm protecting
all it was. It's all it's ever been. I'm protecting him because he makes me feel better. Or something that Eddie and I have talked about is like how a lot of this shit, like the Pizzagate, all this shit is a lot of these people, and I do in a way feel bad because they're damaged and they don't want to accept that life is just chaotic and bad things happen. And
well, everything has to be a conspiracy. There has to be someone pulling all the strings to everything because they can't accept life is just
their
chaos.
own trauma, their own well, Hillary Clinton was running a pedo ring at the bottom of a pizza parlor. Oh, well, maybe that's why my dad abused me. Like that's just they and it's like no, that's not.
No. The level of disbelief I thought we were gonna cover it, but we didn't talk about it. But this motherfucker says, I still can't. How is this a real life thing? He said, I'm going to reduce your drug cost.
Oh God,
by 1,000%.
By 1,000%.
So they're getting money back, I guess.
Come on,
they're paying us to take drugs now.
Right.
We're gonna give you $100 million to give you penicillin. That's what's gonna happen. You want insulin? We're gonna give you $100,000 every time you get a shot.
What the fuck? And all you got to do is forget that I'm a pedophile.
Yeah.
Now, here's where his base should really be concerned, and actually the American public too, but his base.
Yeah.
We're not fooled by him.
Right.
So he's telling you he's been in for 8 months.
God.
He told you he couldn't do anything about eggs, gas, price, cost of living. He took away your health care. He reversed Biden's policy on affordable insulin. So he did all of this already.
Yep.
Now he's saying, tell them that I will lower their drug costs, but they have to stop talking about me being a fucking pedophile.
It's insane, man.
We need to look at the strike force going into effect on Obama.
Did you hear about this, Ty? They announced a strike force to investigate Obama. A strike force.
Power Rangers are staffing it up right now. They're going after. But
Are they gonna have uniforms? That's what, like, are they gonna have special strike force Obama uniforms?
Meanwhile, Obama's sitting courtside at games like, this is what you guys do?
I could give a fuck. Yeah, like it's.
Besides, I got presidential immunity, Dix.
Yeah, thanks to the Supreme Court.
Thank you. Thanks.
You told me that. And then but here's the thing, and I think that honestly, people don't understand how dangerous it is to be uneducated. And we're seeing it now because you're like, oh, wow. Because you know how many people didn't know some of the stuff we're talking about or some other things. Like I remember watching a clip of somebody play him talking about the pageant and how he would go these.
On Howard Stern, bragging about watching him undress and shit.
Say that one more time. He was on Howard Stern saying he would go into these pageants with
Teen USA.
Teenagers.
Fucking
teenagers.
So
children, basically.
Somebody played that clip for someone and they said, oh my God, I've never heard that before. What? You've never heard this from Howard Stern?
They never played it on Fox News. That's why. It's never aired on Fox News.
I was talking to Jerry about this yesterday because there's part of me, because 40, 50 years ago, they began a war on education, right? And to take away cognitive abilities and the ability to discern between right and wrong. And so what they're left with right now is lies. And they tell them something, they believe it's going to come true, and then it doesn't happen. And I think the feeling of that is just, it's got to be awful, right? You keep buying in and keep buying in. And I know as a Cowboy fan, for the last 29 years, I've listened to the lies and I've bought in because I really want to feel better about an important part of my life, which is my favorite NFL football team. I don't know how maybe a Washington Commanders fan would feel or a Chicago Bears fan would feel about, all those years that this year's our year. We're going to buy, did you guys ever buy in and get disappointed?
Oh, every year.
Every and I told you, even especially as a Chicago fan, but Chicago went through this phase of not winning anything and then winning, at least with basketball, winning so much. But when they won the Super Bowl, it was everything. It was everything. It's almost like as an actor, when you get a role, you almost forget every other audition you didn't get.
Yeah, forget all the failures. You're like, I'm winning.
It's true.
I'm on set right now. And so when it comes to what you hold on to, and I get that part. I understand people wanting to hold on to this nostalgia, or like you said, Courtney, something that makes you feel good because this is a thing. So all of that is valid. Where I have a problem at is that you said, well, I found out that everybody on the Cowboys, we have definitive proof that everybody on the Cowboys is a pedophile. Now, if you said, well, I still hold on to that team.
Right.
The problem is you at this point.
Yes.
But if you said, God damn, I can't like you guys because you're all pedophiles.
Well,
that's the difference. And I think a lot of people are still trying to hold on to this thing of, no, it can't be this. It can't be that obvious.
Right.
It can't be that. What do you mean it can't be that obvious? I can pull up a collage of pictures. I can pull up the flight logs, his statements about him saying he does this. And if you still are saying that can't be true, it's more than you wanting to hold on something.
Absolutely.
This is about you.
I agree. I mean, as we know, if you're a convicted felon and you beat your wife, Jerry Jones wants you on the Dallas Cowboys because you're violent.
Most
and it's just disgusting. And it's just, I want to turn off the TV and it's like, just because you're so desperate. I mean, when he sold his soul, it was 3 Super Bowls. He got him. He's never getting another one. No. And so, but he still thinks he's going to, whoever. I won't name
we live in a society that idolizes. Same thing with the Brett Favre. You watch the Brett Favre documentary, and you see how they talked about Brett Favre even through all of the shit. Like one of the most defining moments was the guy that said, "Yeah, they called me up because they wanted me to do a family story on Brett."
It's like, can't. Can't do it. There's nothing there.
Can't do it, man. He said, "I don't write fiction. I don't write fiction."
It would be an episode of the Twilight Zone if we were to do
Yeah.
that.
But he still has a boulevard. He's still in the Hall of Fame because, again, to your point, Courtney, somebody in Green Bay that has never achieved anything. They work at a meaningless job. Brett Favre is their achievement.
Right.
So
yes.
Whatever Brett Favre did, me and Brett Favre just won the Super Bowl. Me and Brett Favre just threw that pass. Me and Brett Favre did all this. So anything negative they hear, it's like, nope, we didn't do it.
That wasn't us.
Yeah, but can you imagine what it was like for MAGA to come back and win? Trumpstein wins the 2024 election. The dopamine, the hit that they must have had, adrenaline that they were going through. That is the greatest thing ever. What a comeback story. I feel great. We won. And now you're going to tell them that feeling, it's never going to happen again. Sorry, you're done.
Right.
Well, no wonder they're fighting so hard. They want their dopamine back.
That's what happens. But see, this is why I want to get y'all because I know I'm not crazy in this, but I said, if you're against certain things, you said this is a bridge too far. This is what I don't accept at all. That should be your line, period. So you say, okay, this is what it is. I don't cross this line, period, because there's something to be said for integrity, character, and a real moral compass. So you said, like, it's almost like when people criticize Obama. I can't sit here and say Obama was a perfect president. Nobody's perfect, but he's not the worst. But if I sat here and said, nope, no matter what you tell me about Obama, I don't care because he was the first black president. I don't care. Now I sound crazy. Now I sound like I'm on some bullshit. But if I said, listen, man, Obama was this, but also Obama was that, that's a rational person. When you have people that say, well, listen, man, 2 seconds ago, you had somebody storming a pizza parlor because they told you that a sex ring was going on. So you had a motherfucker
in the basement that didn't even exist.
And the basement didn't exist. And you feeling around walls. No, it's got to be a basement here somewhere because you believe the words, because you keep telling people the reason why I drove here, the reason why I hunted down these people, went to this pizza parlor, looked for the wall is because I love kids.
Right. Get the fuck out of here. Right.
Nothing is more precious than the kids. Okay, cool. That's a good way to be. Nothing is more precious than the kids.
Yeah.
Here's a guy that's on a flight log with a pedophile. Here's a guy named in a court case with Katie Johnson against this guy who's a pedophile. Here's a guy who says that he's snuck in and watched kids undress underage people. Here's a guy right here that said that he would date his daughter.
Yep.
Okay, well, first of all, now let me stop you.
Here come the excuses. Here come the excuses.
Right there, Chief.
Yep. Here.
That's why you lose.
That's perfect. I love it. That's the mic drop for today. Look at that. Man, I want to thank all of you for listening. Subscribe to the We Ain't Right podcast. Give us a 5-star rating, a positive text review. We'll be back next week. Well, who the fuck knows what hellscape will have happened.
Nah, but don't forget, Courtney, the story you teased up this week for
next.
Yes. Yeah.
Seriously.
I love it.
I'm gonna have a heart out as soon as that comes up. You guys rock. Thank you.
Take care, guys. Have a great one, everybody.
See you guys.
Bye now.